Hello guys, this is VibrantEcho of Bushwhack TV. Now this is going to be about 20 minutes an episode on a Rome 2 Total War campaign mode. The campaign mode I am going to do with you guys is going to be the Seleucid Empire, which is one of the successor kingdoms, and it's here. I'm going to be playing it on hard. As you can see, you get bonuses for what major culture you are. So the successor kingdoms get 10% bonus for battles against the Hellenic factions, which obviously Athens, Sparta, and Greece. Also Alexander's legacy, they're going to be good at taking over places and making sure there's no rebellions. And then the Seleucids themselves get royal estates, so more wealth from agricultural buildings. They're again good at multiculturalism. But they're also overlords of the east, so nobody else in the eastern section likes them, so there's probably going to be a lot of wars. Diplomacy with the other factions around there is going to be very difficult. Okay, so let's get this on the way. Each episode I'm going to do is going to be about 20 minutes, I reckon, and it's probably going to include all the things I do in the turn. I'm going to talk through those, and then it's also going to include the battles that I fight. I will cut the battles down in the editor mode to shorten them to only the bits that are really important, instead of you guys having to watch all the boring stuff where you've got two large armies slowly walking towards each other. And then obviously I'm going to talk through what I do in the battles, as well as what I do on the campaign map. Now the Seleucids I'm probably going to go for, because I've got the agricultural bonus, I'm going to try and get as sort of farm-based economy, make money off that. This should work well as I'll have lots of food supply as well for additional buildings, so I can expand quite quickly, and it should be pretty stable throughout the game. I have had a couple of slave-based economies, and they're really strong, but they're also a little bit unstable in terms of uprisings and various other problems that having loads of slaves causes, especially in terms of population unhappiness.
You are the Seleucid Empire, but your grip on your eastern satrapies is weakening. Bactria is already independent, and Patharva and others may also attempt to break away. Meanwhile, to the south, the Ptolemies of Egypt are scheming against you. Their desire to control your Syrian lands may yet bring about war. Although stability to the north and west may be assured by the Sardes, who remain loyal, the warlike Galatians and the Hellenistic states of Asia Minor threaten your borders. The future of Alexander's legacy is in your hands. The Seleucid Empire must not fall.
Okay, here we are on turn 1. We've been given an objective. Basically, you get these given to you throughout the game. And obviously, the first one we've got is hold 13 settlements, and we get given 2,500 gold as a bonus. And as you go on, those get bigger, and you obviously get more money for doing them. Now, I can get rid of him now, there you go. But you can see here I've got a little exclamation mark. This is basically the technology tree. You've got two main trees, military technology and civil technology. And then each of the main trees is split up to 3 minor trees. So each one of these, say this has mainly, okay, so I can build hoplites, improve them through various different technological upgrades. And then also there's your training fields, which allows you to upgrade your men with better armour and stuff, and with the Seleucids you can also upgrade to there in order to get stable, so you can get your better cavalry. And then you've also got siege, which obviously allows you to build ballistae and other big upgrades. Then also you've got your civil tree, which is obviously going to allow you to build, say, better agricultural buildings, better industrial buildings, or better temples and stuff. That's going to allow you to control your civilization in a better way. I'm going to start with military, because I'm going to reduce the size of my armies massively at the beginning, because as you can see here, Mercenary Indian elephants are costing me 780 per turn. This is displayed here. So I want to disband actually most of my army, because I know there's not going to be any wars in the early turns, and I think this is the best way to make as much money as possible. Basically, I'm going for an early economic rush, so that I can get lots of money before I actually go to war. So I'm going to be in a really good position throughout the whole game to be on a solid financial footing. This is always also going to go for the navy, which I don't need at the moment. I don't really use navies that much. You can kind of get away with not having one in this game should you wish to. So I'm going to keep disbanding these men, and then I'm going to move on to the next bit of what we are doing, which is looking at our main province and seeing what we can do with it. There we go, right, so army's reduced, so as you can see now we're making 4,800 a turn. You can also see we can expand various places here, so I want to expand to, which is going to use up 3, and this is only going to use 1, so I can use 1 there. And here I want to build a city centre or agora, and I have 2 of these in each settlement. I don't like having my temples in the main city, so I'm going to destroy that and rebuild it as another city centre next turn. You'll also see the building point above here. I can expand this settlement, so again I'm going to go for a city centre, and I'm going to expand this city, and I'm going to go for a farm because I want my agriculture to be very strong, as I get a bonus to my agricultural wealth. There's obviously another expansion part here. I do want to turn it into a workshop, but for now I'm just going to leave it as a basic farm, as I want lots of food, and obviously get more money from agriculture, so that's going to be something I want to exploit to the maximum. I'm obviously got these territories. I've got one place down here where I might be going to war with, so I want to send my spy down there just to make sure that they're not going to send any army to threaten my empire, else I'm going to have to very quickly build an army to deal with it. I want to get a lot of trade, so I'm going to change this port into a harbour, so I can make a lot of money from that, instead of it just being sitting there to potentially make ships of war. Or, well, harbour upgrades to one of the specialities. I'm going to upgrade it to a harbour instead of maybe a shipwright or the actual military wharf. I've got a fishing village, which is also going to be good because that's more maritime commerce, more kind of agricultural stuff, so make money from that. I'm going to look at trade and finance, so I've obviously got really low army upkeep, so very low expenditure, really high income. I'm going to improve this by going on to diplomacy and going down through all the nations.
Be welcome,
trying to get trade
but may
agreements.
Athena strike.
Okay, so they're a bit low, they're not that happy, but say Armenia, they're trying to get a trade agreement with them. Again, they're not going to get, but some of these nations will accept you, and I always go, accept your offer.
Greetings, my friend.
And I always go through the wall. Okay, so no, they don't want it even. No, nobody's being very kind to me in this game so far. Hopefully Rhodes is
enter, friend, and
agreement.
speak.
There we go, okay, so there's one trade agreement sorted. Sires is my satrapy.
I am honoured to greet such an ambassador.
There we go. And also Trapezos, I'm going to
welcome.
Hopefully get a
I
trade
throw
agreement
open
with
the
them as well.
doors.
Yeah, okay, so I've got more trade agreements there, so I can sell my goods and wares abroad. And now if I look, yeah, I know it's a 5,400 income in the first turn from a mere, I think it was 2,000. So next turn I'm going to be able to very quickly expand all of this city and build it up to the point where it's much larger. I always look through this at the beginning of every turn to make sure that I can improve myself as soon as possible. Some nations, if you're going to be attacked in the first turn, maybe it's better to keep your armies, but you can normally get away with in Total War in the early turns reducing the size of your armies quite a bit and making sure you don't start any unnecessary wars. Right, okay, well that's that turn done. Now I'm going to move on to the next turn. Yes, and I forgot, you can set edicts. So because I control an entire province, I can click on Antioch. I can get the province overview, and you'll see here provincial edicts. Now they basically offer a boost for that entire province. So as I want to make money, I'm going to go for commercial stimulus, but say if I was low on food, I could go for bread and games. If I wanted to get even more tax from the region, if it were like have a very high population, I could do tax harvesting. Or like if I wanted to hire an army of mercenaries quickly, I could go for mercenary negotiations. But in this particular instance, I'm going to go for commercial stimulus, and then I'm going to end the turn. Okay, here we are on turn 2. Now we've made sure we've got lots of money coming in. One of our statesmen has returned home. We've built a homestead in Odessa. Edict issued is obviously commercial stimulus, so you can make more money. So next turn we'll make 6,000. War's being declared somewhere else, but now we can probably click on here and we can see we've got places to expand to. So let's get our second agora. Let's turn this into a trading depot. And let's also get, we can't build our workshop yet. So I think I might leave that, although it will turn into the slums pretty soon. I think I want to expand the main province here, because that will affect it the most, and then also these are dyes, sort of industrial buildings. Right, so we can't do anything there. We can't do anything there, -9 per turn, so that is going to revolt in, yeah, it's a long time away before they actually revolt, so I'm not too bothered by that. So obviously we could build a farm here, but I do want to build a workshop, although it's a few turns away. So what I might do, because it's only 800, I'm just going to build a farm there. So for the time being that can be a farm, and then when I can actually build a workshop I will replace it. And everything seems to be progressing well. So yeah, we've already got our trade agreement set up with all the different people, so that's basically all we can do this turn. So once you've got that basic setup in the first turn, you can very quickly push on and do everything else you need to do. And my spy is now sitting outside their city to make sure they've got no large amounts of troops heading quickly towards my nation. At which point I would probably have to react very quickly. Early on as well, you'll see everyone's turns go
My
quite
lord
quickly.
wishes to bestow coin on your people.
Yeah, these guys now want
Accept
a
it
peace
as a
offer.
token of friendship.
So I think I'm going to accept that, just because I don't want any wars at the moment.
My people do not like luxury, but money.
Now, I've accepted that. It's cost me 100 gold, but it's also going to build the relationship between me and their nation. And you'll see that all my satrapies are now at peace with Khedri. And I've also finished my research into my early military technology. So then I can go here and I can start getting this, which will give me Holosideros barracks, which will be able to build my hoplites, which will form the basis of my army, and also the pikemen. Obviously here now we've finished here, and we want wealth, obviously 6 food, but wealth and culture. But I think there is one of these that improves trade tariffs. Yep, so wine builder. Winemakers trader, sorry. So no, we can't build that yet. That's just 6 research rate. So at the moment I'm probably just going to get an amphitheatre to improve the happiness. Then if I look in the civil tree, I'm probably going to have to research there and one other place. Not yet. Okay, so level 2 wine trader is going to require here. So we're probably going to go for these 2 the minute we finish the military research that we need, which is there, and also it is here. So in 5 turns time, that's when we can start along the civil tree. This place obviously again is probably going to need to be food, maybe, because it's not going to have any ports. Yeah, I think I might go for, in fact no, they're pretty unhappy, so maybe an amphitheatre there as well, just to keep them entertained. And here again we've got a lot of unhappiness, but we can get some more farm, and that is actually not going to cause any civil unrest, so I think I'm going to upgrade there as well.
Ready for battle.
And again here, I suppose if I'm not going to, do I go straight for siege stuff? Yeah, I still am going to get my siege units early on, so I think that's all the upgrading I can do. There's still a couple of peace negotiations going on here, but again, that's pretty much all we can do. 2 turns on that, so I think end turn.
My unflinching master will burn your cities, your towns, your villages, your dung heaps,
Okay,
until the
so
sky is dark
These
with
people have
smoke.
declared war on me, but they're miles away, so they don't pose any real threat. They're going to attack some of the satrapies, but they break off from the Seleucid Empire almost straight away, as you can see there. Right, okay, so I think here we should enter war on the side of ally, just to keep relationships decent. Ally attacked. Okay, enter war on side of ally again. Okay, so this whole region is broken out into a bit of a free for all, but they're nowhere near any of my lands, so that's not so dangerous. And yet all these guys have now declared independence from my empire. Okay, so we still can't build the barracks we want here. We still can't build the wine trader here, so I think I'm going to spend my money on upgrading the towns, which will cost me food. And then obviously improving my food supply by getting the fishmonger, just so that when we have to expand other places we can very quickly do so, and we can make as much money from all of this as possible. Next turn we've obviously got the harbour finishing, which is going to increase the amount of wealth we have by an even larger amount. Our income per turn's gone down because we've lost a lot of satrapies, meaning people are no longer paying us a large amount of money to be part of the empire. But we will deal with that the instance I've got an army built and we can go back and conquer all of those regions. I just want to make sure we're as solid as we can possibly be before we go off and do that. Okay, well, I think that's, again, all these buildings are still building, so I think that's the end of that turn. Okay, so we've finished the logistics. So now we can upgrade this to the barracks. We can also build a better trading port, which I think we're definitely going to do to make even more money. And we can also upgrade this, which is going to give us glassware and money from industry, so I think it's going to be important to get that so we can trade and make more money. So again, this is very much focusing on making as much money from what we have as possible before we actually try and expand and make the rest of our empire larger. Now this is slowly getting worse and worse, this situation in Edessa, because they want to rebel against me, but you only get a rebellion when you get to minus 100, so we still have a fair number of turns to actually fix everything else and then solve Edessa's problems before they actually get too badly out of hand. Our technology is finished, so I want to get a workshop finished, so 3 turns. That will be done so I can get ballistae, and then I'm going to start concentrating on making sure I've got as much civil technology as possible, as that's the kind of base that I would like for money. As you can see here, the barracks is going to give me Eastern Spearmen and Levy Pikemen as a garrison, and it also means I can recruit Standard Pikemen and Persian Hoplites to be part of my main army. Right, I think again that's all we can do this turn. This place is unhappy by -1, but as you see next turn we're going to gain +5 public order from the amphitheatre, so that's going to improve very quickly, and it won't be long before that's all sorted and they're happy. And I do promise that in the future there will be big battles, but at the moment we're kind of at this early stage where we're all kind of building up to the big wars that are going to happen in the future. So Sparta and Athens have allied themselves with one another. Okay, so there's a lot of alliances taking place, which will probably put all of these nations against me, but that's why it's especially important to have a very strong setup in your main region, so that when it does come to going to war, you can sort of attack them with as many troops as possible from as strong a position as you can possibly get. Right, so what am I doing here? Okay, that's staying. These are all upgrading. Edessa's fine, and this place can be upgraded to a level 2 city with only costing me some food. I've got 14 food, so that's not going to be a problem. And again, 100 wealth and culture. Yeah, no, that's not the one we want. We really want the wine trader, which we can't get for a while, so it's better just to leave it as a simple city centre instead of having to go for all the rigmarole of destroying it and then rebuilding it from scratch. Our main barracks is going to be finished in 2 turns, and this place is still farmland, but and we're almost reaching 1 extra population from growth, so that's good to know. So in the future we'll be able to expand one of these slots and make our overall province larger.
At your command.
Edessa is -45, so although it's still getting close to a rebellion, it's not going to rebel anytime soon. These guys are now dangerously close to my main city with quite a large army, so I think early on we might have to send one of my newly built armies once I can get hoplites up north to deal with this particular incursion before going off and dealing with all the problems that are going on over here. So I think, where's the diplomatic view? Okay, there we go, diplomatic status. This is my empire, and we've got wars here, and we've also got a big problem going on here. So these are going to act like a shield for now, I think. So it means my first army is going to quickly shoot up and support Sardes with their campaign against Galatia. and then the minute that's finished, or when I've got my second army ready, I'm going to go over and take over the rest of this section to stop Persia getting any bigger, and also crush the other nations that are helping them out. Right, that is it for now, even though we've got a lot of gold, but it's good to have gold in the bank so that when we want to build those armies, we can set them up very quickly. Okay, so we've been attacked by Kidri again, so I think I'm going to have to enter the war on the side of the ally because they're acting as a shield against Persia. And this is going to be the last turn of this
and
particular
I ask
video.
with all due respect for your...
Yep, quite cheap considering how much money we've got. There we go. So, okay, my agent's been found. Bad omens been declared. Unhappy population in Mesopotamia. That's Edessa. So that's probably fine. Right, so one turn before my barracks gets completed. Yes, political intrigue. You see here. See, I could sacrifice a white sheep to dispel the suspicion for a while. I can't manage that city anymore. Why? That's very strange. It's definitely my city. Huh. Appears to be a bit of a bug. Oh no, there we go. That screen's back. Are these guys at war?
Commander!
Huh. Well, I didn't think Sardes was at war. I thought they were my friends. I think they are my friends. I think these are just the retreating army attacking foreign assets in an act of war. Are they going to war with me? No, they're still blue here. I think they've just been thrown out of their main home by the tribe up there. So that's okay. So again, making money, and we've got one turn until we can finish. Right, that means we can demolish this, so that we can get our workshop built next turn. So I end the turn, and that is going to be it. Next video, I will be obviously building my army, and I will also be sending it north to take over those tribes. I hope you liked it. I hope it's been informative. I'll be talking through as much as possible what I'm doing when I get to the higher stages of all the different trees. But for now, that's it. Thank you very much, and I hope you subscribe and watch more videos on Bushwhack TV. Goodbye.